But I'm going to bring V on now to have you stay with us today. Congratulations. I literally thought you were actually in the gym for a second there. I was like, rah, he took his camera to the gym. Look, you always were probably going to win tonight, but to get 3 goals, to give yourself that comfortability as before the second leg, how important do you think that is?
Oh, huge, hugely important. Terry, man, I was stressed because I'm like, I need some more goals. I need some more goals going into the second leg because you just spoke about it. We're gonna go into a very congested fixture list with some important clubs that we got to get results against, and Pep's gonna have to make some choices. He's gonna have to choose on how he rotates. So I was like, let's get at least 2 goal cushion so we can chill on this one. And the players that needed to get the result delivered. Like this was the key players that we needed, the players that we've been leaning on for years. They're the ones that came through, and this is the experience that you need in Champions League. When it doesn't even look good, when you don't look so convincing, we don't quite have the performance or the dominance. You lean on these players, and Pep talks about all the time. I'm going to have prepared. I'm going to get you to that final third, but in that final third, then it's your quality, and you guys deliver. I'm ecstatic with this win. Now I can kind of relax a little bit. It's still Champions League. I respect Copenhagen. You know why you got to respect them. So it's a second leg, and hey, let's handle business.
No, look, yeah, you have to respect them. But the good thing is, you look at tonight. So I'm just refreshing the thing I've got up here. You look at tonight's starting lineup: KDB, Haaland, maybe Rodri, but you probably would play him. Silva, Stones, your goalkeeper. You could rest 4, 5, 6 players for that game, have them on the bench, and you'd have to probably go 2-0 down before you start thinking, oh, we need them. And how likely is that? Probably not at all. So you now get the chance to rest those players. And that's why I think that third goal, when that 2-1, I was sitting there thinking, okay, you've been the better team. But I'm just looking at it from a title race point of view. You're comfortably through, in my opinion, from this round, even before you kicked the ball today. But it just meant there'd be 3 games in a week where you were going to have to pick your strongest team. And that final goal there from Phil Foden at the end, it just gives you that leeway, essentially, to relax a little bit.
Yeah, it gives the leeway to be like Pep. If you're gonna choose maybe a non-traditional starting 11 for Champions League, we can afford to do it. We can afford to do it because let's get the youth. Let's get Oscar Bob. Let's give him a shout. Rico Lewis, maybe you play a role, and we have the bodies needed for the domestic because we know. Listen, I love Champions League, and the fans that are part of City Global, they obviously love Champions League, but four, Terry. The chance at 4. I think Pep's going to lean more so with this 2 goal cushion that we have to play the strongest team domestically than he would in Champions League. So, man, yes, relaxed at the final 90th minute. Thank you, Foden. Thank you.
I bet. Look, another solid display tonight again from Phil Foden. Another goal at the end just kind of will make more people maybe notice him. But his performance throughout the 90 minutes on that right-hand side today rather than the left was just majestic.
Listen, Terry, Pep trusts him to play everywhere on that pitch. We've seen it. There's no denying it. He's best in the middle of the pitch, but there's so much quality there already. There's Bernardo, there's KDB. When he plays out on the wing, that's because Pep's listen. I want as much quality as I can, even though I know Foden. I know you're better centrally. I'm going to play you out on the wing so we can play some rotation. Man, his versatility huge. Pep having the problem to decide between Bernardo Silva or Foden to play on the wing. Let's have that problem all day long as we can. But the quality of the player, and I know rivals are going to want to talk about who does he match up with, who's got the better star boy. Go have those debates. Go have them. That's cool. I know one that's been delivering, that's been versatile, not stuck in one position, not showing versatility on playing on either side of the pitch. I know one star boy that Pep's trusted to play literally everywhere up front as well as the midfield. So I'm gonna take Foden every day.
Look, I'm a big fan of Saka. I mean, there's a lot of these debates about who's best. I love them and I hate the debates. I love the debate because I love hearing people's opinions. It's what I do. Where I hate the debates is that as a typical rule, what everybody does is try to shit on the person they don't want to win the debate. The Messi-Ronaldo era started it where both groups would slag the other one off like they weren't very good. And I just used to think to myself, you're all mad. And the same thing here. I think Saka is top. I think he's brilliant. I just think Phil Foden is better than him. And it isn't by country mile. He doesn't leave him on ability anyway and on outputs. I don't think he leaves him for dust. The one thing we haven't seen as much from Saka because of the team he's at is how consistently he can do it in title runs, Champions League runs, because he hasn't had that opportunity yet at his very fledgling age. But Phil Foden has delivered every single step of the way. He's done. The only thing he doesn't have is sort of old age and consistency in terms of longevity. Does he go into his late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s, has some legends have done? I don't know. None of us know yet because he's not that old. But ability, output, consistency of performances, clutch moments, trophy winning performances, winning the trophies. He's done it all. You can't deny it. And it's not me attacking Saka. This is what I would say to Arsenal fans that want to win the debate. You can believe Saka's going to go on to be a better career. That's fine. But remember when you defend, when you turn around and you say this Arsenal player is better than this Tottenham player, and one of the biggest arguments you throw in is the trophies they've won. Legends we're talking here. As a Man United fan, I put Paul Scholes above Gerrard. Gerrard's amazing. But one of the reasons that I put Paul Scholes above him, one is the longevity, the consistency, but it's the way he delivered year in, year out in title races, Champions League runs, FA Cup runs, League Cup runs.
That's how you got to look at it.
And I can't have that. This is what I would say to people. Think I'm not twerking for anyone. I'm just staying true to my principles. I can't believe that about Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs, Thierry Henry, etc. And then not use that same logic when looking at Phil Foden, Rashford, Saka, and you look at these young players all playing these wide roles. You can't suddenly change your logic to get one of your favorites now to win. Otherwise, you're undoing everything you've said about those other players. And I try my best not to do that. So for me, look, I think that there's so much talented young players, but there is still a pecking order. And part of it is the club you're at. And some will say, well, Saka can't help what club he's at. No, he couldn't help to a degree. But he's now getting to an age where, if it doesn't start to happen with Arsenal this season, next season, year after, don't do what Gerrard did. I know he won some trophies, but move to a club that is competing in the league, because we always talk about a footballer and we say, well, if they overeat and put on weight, that's their fault. If they don't work hard enough when they're injured, they can regress. That's their fault. Well, the club they choose to play for is often their choice as well.
Exactly.
Or they're not good enough and the bigger clubs don't come in for them. So either way, if you're at the best clubs in the world that are winning and challenging, generally speaking, there's an indicator that you could be better, or your mentality could be better, or your decision-making is better. And I think all of that is the makeup of a player.
100%. And I got no problem with the debates. I have no problem with some of the conversations. But let's understand that more needs to be seen of Saka right now. And I rate him. He's of quality. And I just want to put this to bed. Let's put this to bed. If Saka happened to be at City, Pep would have to test him and put him in different positions. It's not a slight that Foden doesn't have a position locked down, because look at the quality around him. Now, if it was him playing over at Arsenal with that surrounding quality, I would question why Foden hasn't locked anything down. But if Saka came to City, Pep would challenge him, play right wing, left wing. Let me see whether you can play a role at false nine or centrally. So we got to relax with this. And I gotta say this. Unfortunately, Terry, I got to drop. But with regards to the upcoming fixtures, this is where it gets a little stressful for me. I have a chance at 4. I've got the FA Cup and Champions League. Liverpool, no disrespect, but they should walk. They should dog walk Europa. Like they should have that locked up. Then how they happen to manage the rest of the run, I think they have an easier English fixture than we do. Arsenal, they only have Champions League and the Premier League. So different managers are going to have different things to navigate, and I honestly think the most difficult one for amongst the clubs is going to be myself at Manchester City, because I've got all 3. Arsenal only have 2, and when I look at it, Liverpool, they really have 2. They've already locked up the final in Carabao Cup, but Europa, that's easy. That's cruise control. So This is what I got to navigate. And this extra 2 goals that Foden gave because of what he got late. Woo! Now let me go and try to get this. Let me try again.
Yeah. No, I hear you completely. Look, V, I want to appreciate you coming on.